Hi. So I'm on day 4 of my 12-week challenge, and it's interesting what's going on. From my personal perspective, yeah, it's much easier. The flow is happening. I'm beginning to kind of get into it and get used to it. As you remember, the whole idea of my 12-week challenge is to kind of look into the idea of procrastination, possibly, or maybe the idea of when I really want to do something, there's something inside me that kind of holds me back. It sticks. It's very difficult to explain what it is. Obviously, there's a kind of anxiety there, fear factor, shame coming in, as I explained in my early episodes, of, what people will think of me. Even doing this now, there's always these thoughts in the back of my head of, am I doing too much? Am I revealing too much? Are people kind of being turned off by this or maybe turned on? So one of the things that I really love about doing these episodes are the feedback that I'm getting, and I'm getting a lot of very interesting feedback, most of it fantastically positive. So thank you for that, and keep that feedback coming. One of the things that have come out this week is, because I'm dealing with a lot regarding my personal pain, is that people are trying to rescue me from that pain. So they're being very empathetic, very sympathetic in listening to the stories that I'm telling, or my perspective of looking at myself through the prism of pain. But I don't want that to be the focus. I'm only using that as raw material to look inside the pain and see the roots of the values of things that are important to me. So it's really important that we don't miss the mark here by being sucked in by the painful stories. And that's what life is like, isn't it? I mean, obviously, by definition, pain is painful. It's uncomfortable. It's not pleasant. It's, sometimes all-encompassing and can really suck our attention away from the rest of our life. And even as I tell stories that are connected with pain, it's so powerful that it can actually suck people away from the main message that I'm trying to give by examining pain. And that is that there is a lot of value to be discovered within pain. And it's interesting that studies have shown that there's a lot of evidence out there that's saying that a lot of our psychological and emotional issues are caused by, or at least made worse by, the fact that we're not actually taught how to look into pain and see the beauty. We're actually not even taught how to be with pain. Society tells us all the time how to get away from pain, that we should either be taking pharmaceuticals to get away from pain, that we should be distracting ourselves to get away from pain, or that we start to self-medicate in all sorts of different ways to get away from the emotional and psychological pain, even chronic pain. Studies have shown that if we can sit with it, if we can befriend it almost, if we can be willing to tolerate, willing to be with pain, and at the same time follow our behaviors in what's meaningful and purposeful for us in life, the quality of our life can go up. And so I think we really have to realize that there's a lot of value in pain, even though we don't like it, even though it's uncomfortable. And so the purpose of my examination this week is not to reveal the pain for pain's sake, and to disclose that there is pain in my life. There is pain in all of our lives. But it's to discover and identify why I'm experiencing this pain, because there must be something important underneath, needs, values that maybe are not being met. And if they're not being met, maybe that is the issue that I should be following in my behavior. And so there's many ways to discover values. There's many ways to discover direction in life. There are many ways to discover what's important and what matters. All I'm trying to point out this week is that one of these ways is to examine what brings pain into our life, and why is that? Maybe there's something there that's saying that if this is so important and it's not being attended to, then that will be painful. And that's one way of discovering it. So that's my message for today, is not for us not to be frightened by pain, for us not to run away from pain, from not to look at pain as, a bad thing. Pain is a messaging system, and what I would like to do is to look into that message, sit with that message, and see what it's trying to tell me. That's it for now. Looking forward to more feedback. Thanks for listening, watching, and reading.